Do it now, Alan. Now. Do it now, Alan. Do it now. Inkdependence Mike, thanks for the subbing. Corinne Barr, who subbed before the stream, is better than Alan. Thank you, Corinne. Alan with the sub. Now go get your coffee. I need more coffee. Like, I'm hyped right now. It's because I'm manic, not because I'm highly caffeinated. I'm just like, yesterday was a day. Today's starting out to be a day. But we're here, we're streaming, we're going to talk about pens, and we're going to make it less of a day in my head and more of a day about y'all. So, hi. Good morning. Hello, friends. How are you today? So, yeah. Got a little printer going in the background over here. Coach Albino, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. Hello from Baltimore, Corinne. Other Corinne. Dave Twitch Watcher, hello. Good morning, how are you? So if you hear the... Can y'all hear that in the background? Oh, I have a fan going. That needs to go off. Now we can hear it. Ooh, ooh. Can y'all hear that? I don't know what my wife's printing, but it's been going for like 10 minutes now. It might be an accident. She might not know that it's going on, but it is literally... I can almost touch it in about another 2 feet. I would be able to touch it. But I don't want to go yank the cord. Should I yell at her on text while we're doing this? This printer's still going. I should probably say something because it might be an accident. I'll tell you why the printer's going. It's because my son's school is a shirt show right now. She's playing teacher. We're gonna make her come in here and apologize to chat. Yeah, this is keeping it real, man, let me tell you. So Tyler's back home, virtual school. His entire middle school is shut down, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They ran out of teachers, essentially. A bunch of kids were getting sick, but they're mostly out of teachers. So we were aware of this, obviously, last week, Thursday. Then they made them come to school Friday, which is still beyond my comprehension level. I don't get it. But then yesterday was starting virtual learning from home. And Tyler, I mean, he's a 7th grader and they give him lists of stuff to do and he's not great at it. He's like, yeah, I did everything. He's like, here's what was assigned to me and I did it. Like, he's just going through like the checking the boxes phase and, not really, we're worried about the learning, like what learning is happening, not like, did you check the box? So that's what we're working on. And we're printing a lot apparently. So how on earth is he in middle school? He's not only in middle school, he's in 7th grade and my daughter's a high schooler. She's in 9th grade. They're at school. Yeah, virtual school is an adjustment. We've already done it for 3 weeks. Then we went back for like 2 or 3 weeks. And now we're back home. And this second round has been worse than the first as far as getting the kids doing what they need to be doing. That's the challenge. So Mary Beth would like to apologize to chat now, coming in to stop the printer. Yeah, we're gonna hard stop that printer. Anything you'd like to say? No, she said no. She would like to say online learning is hard. So that's what we got. Yeah, so that's the discussion we were just having. So, yeah, it's a mess. So Mary Beth's a saint for really taking it on today. She's off today. She wasn't off yesterday. And I was dealing with that in the world and everything. So she's a saint for dealing with it today. So, yay. Jazz hands for online learning. All right. So today, I don't really have any topics other than the topic that I put in the chat, which is something I'm going to be discussing tomorrow. We're going to be spending some time on the Pilot G2 during the podcast tomorrow. So I wanted y'all to this is the opportunity for y'all who are watching. Oh, we have a hype train going. Nice. For anyone to, state their status, the Pilot G2 status, and Tessa, thanks for the sub. I appreciate you. 13 months. That's awesome. Got a Pilot G2 on the desk. There is literally nothing wrong with the Pilot G2. So this is the Pilot put that post on their Instagram stories. Pilot is actually decent at social media compared to the rest of the major pen brands. Good morning, Tessa. So yeah, Pilot is pretty decent at social media. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But where I get in trouble, or not in trouble, but like the discussions that I have to have are, there's better things than the Pilot G2, in my opinion, right? So this is all opinion based. And the thing, Thunder Viking, thanks for the subs, dude. That's awesome. Gifted subs, amazing. So the thing is, the Pilot G2 is a great pen, but it doesn't end there, right? So like that's where I have to like come in and say it's great, but like I have to be that well actually guy. Like it's perfectly fine. Like the Pilot G2 is better than any other random pen you will ever pick up in your life. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the Pilot G2. I like the Pilot G2. I especially like the .38 Pilot G2. The problem is, as Coco's saying, every Uniball gel pen is better. Every Pentel Intergel pen is better. And this might be the shocker. And I'm just talking about the stuff you can buy on the store shelf. The Papermate Inkjoy is better. So this is the discussion. These are the things I'm working on for tomorrow, for tomorrow's podcast. So we don't really have to go through all that, but it's just the conversation worth having. Can you believe that tweet got so much traction? That happens a couple times a year. Someone will make a stationery tweet, and that just gets picked up randomly. And it's usually like, X is the best. Staples knockoff of the Inkjoy pens are very good. Staple, the tool for a while. Was that Staples? No, Staples wasn't the tool. Who was the tool? That was Office Max or Depot, one of the two. Oh, and I forgot the Zebra Sarasa. The standard Zebra Sarasa you get at the store, like Staples, that is not better than the G2. But the Sarasa clips are better than the G2. Tool was Office Max? Yeah, I think you're right. Tools were good, but recently, the last few versions I've tried haven't been that good. Their roller balls have never been good, but the gel pens have generally been pretty good. So we get to, we're going to dig into, yeah, all the tool rollers have tried to suck. Yeah, I don't know how can their gel pen be so good and their roller be so bad? That's truth. So we get to have standard pen discussion on the podcast tomorrow. Y'all know pretty much where I stand. And like, I'm not going to bag on the G2. Like, I like the G2. Nothing wrong with the G2. Jesse, good morning. But there's a large but incoming on that one. So, good morning, Patrick. So yeah, that's what I'm working on today. I've started a little project, a little personal project where I spent all of last week not really using my pens. I guess I was just so scatterbrained and busy and just trying to do things. So this week, I'm trying something a little, I'm forcing myself to write more this week. We'll talk about that in a second. MD girl, my wife finally stole one of my spoke pens because her favorite refills are the Intergels, and she now has that in like the cyan spoke barrel, and I hate it. It's her favorite. Like she so the cyan is that bright blue, and she really liked that. She's like, what is that pen over there? Because it sits on my desk. And I keep the cyan with the .38 lavender black refill in it. Okay, that's my jam. And that's the spoke pen I use. That's the one I keep on my desk. And she's like, does that fit a wider refill, right? Because she was like thinking maybe she should use it for work or whatever, but she knows I use the fine refills. Well, that fit a regular, a more standard size .7 refill. Hype train leaving the station. So I said, okay, just between me and you, it fits the Energel refills. Which we have on the product page of the spoke, but it's kind of a secret. We don't really promote it. But it fits the stock Energel refill. The Energel refill is a little bit shorter, but our spring is long enough and stiff enough that it will handle that refill. So I put it in there. She has a 0.7 millimeter teal Energel refill. And using it, I had to use it we were writing like grocery lists the other day, and I picked up that pen to use it. I hated it with every fiber of my being. Using a 0.7 in the spoke pen felt so out of place to me. I don't know if y'all have any pens like that where you have to have it either super tiny because that's what this pen is, or super large because that's what this pen is. And if you cross those things, you hate the pen. Like that totally happened to me with like one of my favorite pens, a pen I helped make. That I put this different refill in it that wasn't my idea of the pen, and it totally confused me. It just wrecked me. But she's happy, like she's getting what she wants. She's like, ooh, now I can put this. She has a bunch, like the 10-pack of Energels, right? All the colors. So now she's got the pen. She's got the 0.7 Energels in there, and go to town, right? So, but I was like, it hurts me. What do you think of G-Tech Cs? I love the G-Tech Cs. I almost never recommend them because they're super finicky, right? That's what I call a finicky pen. Like sometimes you pick it up, uncap it, and it doesn't work, right? You got to scribble with it a little bit. In general, I think it's awesome. Like it's one of my favorites. It's a personal favorite of mine, but it's one I almost never recommend because it can be very particular, especially 0.4 and less. Loveless. Thanks for the 10 months subbing. WFKD, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Put an EF nib in a giant Crusac L16 and it felt so wrong. That's true, right? So like I'm using the King of Pen today, which is pretty much the antithesis of the Pilot G2, right? You have the most basic Pilot G2, then you have like this stupid, ridiculous Sailor King of Pen. So I have an even bigger Sailor pen, bigger and heavier. All right, see you, Mike. The 105th anniversary that uses an EF nib, and it just doesn't work because I do think you have to have, for the best writing experience, you have to have some workable combination of size and weight of the barrel and tip size of the pen. So, ooh, loveless, first thing in the morning meeting, sorry. So yeah, you have to, I do think it's a match. That's why, yeah, like I talk about like this, I probably wouldn't be as happy with an extra fine nib. Like this is a stock medium Sailor nib, right? Which writes, I was comparing this. Evan, thanks for the sub. I appreciate you. Peachy Doll, thanks for the follow. So I was writing with this nib. This is a stock Sailor medium nib. No one has touched this. This is right out the box. And it compares to the extra fine Yovo gold nibs. It's almost the same. Saggy Francis, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Y'all are awesome this morning. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, we talk about pens and how the Pilot G2 is not the best pen on the market. So, but yeah, I've got these lines. I'll get back to my writing in a second, and there's almost no difference in line width to me, and it's gonna vary between pen and nib and ink and paper, but using a Yovo extra fine gold nib right before I wrote with the Sailor medium nib, the line width is almost identical, right? So those types of things are always interesting to figure out. I'd show y'all, but this is kind of a little bit personally in the journal, and to go back what I was leaning into. Hey, good morning, Brooks. What I was leading into a minute ago. The Zebra Blend's not bad. Does that use the hybrid ink? I have one. I think that's the hybrid ink pen, which they called the emulsion, Z-mulsion, which was a terrible marketing name. The Z-mulsion wasn't even that good of a pen. The blend is not bad though. I like the barrels. So I started something after last week, not using a lot of stationery, not using a lot of pens, not writing very much. I decided on Sunday, my weeks pretty much start on Sunday. I work a bunch Sunday and then go through Friday. I decided I'm gonna try to write everything down. Now, that's pretty much impossible, right? You can't write everything down, but I haven't been using my notebook as much. And I haven't been using my pens and inks as much. And this is my commonplace notebook, right? This is the one I carry around and just write whatever I want in it. And it's got scribbles. I've shared this with y'all before. It's the Midori MD. And I wonder what got you into talking about stationery exactly. I've written a blog called at penaddict.com since 2007. So this is this is something I've been doing a long time. Weekend Wednesday for the win. I don't even know what that means, but I'll take it. Is it a weekend tomorrow? So I decided to write down everything. And by everything in my head is anytime I kind of have like a context switch, right? I might work for a few hours and not write anything down, but when it's time to set down work and go to lunch. Oh, is it a Cortex reference? I haven't listened to like the last 2 episodes are queued up in my thing, and I don't listen to every episode of Cortex, but I listen to a bunch. So, what was I saying? Oh, so I wanted to use my pens more, use my notebook more. So every time I kind of switch gears, I'll write. So, got up this morning, got the kids off to school, screwed around on the internet, just checking the news and drinking coffee and whatever. Then I stopped and, got ready this morning. Then I stopped and sat here and wrote, about a page, A5 size. Victoria Monica, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Wrote about a page this morning, A5 size. And since Sunday, I've written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 pages. That's a lot for me. Like 5.5 A5 pages in a week is a ton for me. And I've done that in 2 days, really. Sunday and Monday. Today's day 3. But like I can show you, I'll show you real quick what it looks like. There's nothing great in here. Like for you, this is like just personal stuff for me. Hey, that's not it. So like just in my book, I'll just write I just stream of consciousness writing. Some of it's like meaningful, some of it's bullcrap, right? But I'm just trying to write and use it all, right? I'm trying not to worry about writing the bullcrap, right? Switching pens as necessary. Like this is all since Sunday. Using the pens I have inked up, switching some inks. This is the nib difference here. That's a Yovo EF. That's a Sailor King of Pen medium. So like that's where I'm at as of this morning. Like I was writing right up until the stream started. So I just want to use my stuff more, and I'm trying to figure this out. Like what works the best for me. Like I've never been a traditional journal writer. Sankalori, thanks for the follow. Miss G's Crafties, 15 months of subbing. Thank you so much. Not using the back of the pages. I've never used the back of the pages my entire life as a stationery user since I was a kid. It's never been my thing. Part of it is, what's the word? Efficiency is not the right word, but I don't get on the, I write small, so I would never finish a notebook if I wrote on both sides, right? I'll only use the back. That's my break glass in case of emergency page, right? Did I write something on the right-hand side that required follow-up that's on the same visual area, right? And therefore, I'd put something over there. I just got a Apple transaction. Oh, that's like the monthly thing. Okay, sorry, I had to look at that because I haven't been buying anything while I've been talking to y'all. So, but yeah, a lot of people, especially fountain pen users, really like to use both sides of the page. Cal Riddle, 17 months. Thank you so much. But I like, if I just flip through this book, so I've used, I don't know, I've used a little over half, not quite 2/3. And Tessa, hold that thought. We'll think about that. I'm just going to flip through it and see 1, 2. Just a quick flip through. I've caught 2 instances where felt like I've needed to write on the back of the page. Otherwise, I don't. So, headful ideas. Mine's more of that style, right? Like I'm gonna write on the right side. The left is if I need to fill in the blanks for something that's on the right side of the page. So Tessa brings up a good point about the G2 1.0 millimeter. That's a shockingly good, huge marker style gel pen. If you write big or drawing or doing artwork, the G2 1.0 is a pretty cool pen. So yeah, it's really good. So we should probably, but see, then I do it kind of backwards with my planner, which is completely separate, right? When you pay a lot per page, you use the back a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not knocking that. I think it's valuable. I just, it's a mental thing. Never done it in my entire life. But when I do, God, who knows what's on these pages that I'm showing y'all. We'll let it fly. I'm an open book, right? But when I use my planner, see, my planner looks like this, right? Left side schedule, right side notes, right? So, which is different from if I was writing in a journal. So I'll use both sides all day long there. Brad wouldn't even use both sides of my Masubi. I won't. Like, I just won't do it. We're going to keep this camera up, so we'll put some pins in here to make it look pretty. But yeah, I've never been a backside of the page writer. It's just not gonna happen. But like, I don't even consider this backside of the page writing, right? This is how you use a planner. Planners are generally both sides of the page, but then when I'm in the journal, I don't want that. Like, you can't see it as well, things like that. So, just me. Thunder Viking, that's why we do this, right? Is like, we get to learn how other people use things, and it's cool to see all the different ways. If you were only meant to use one side of a page, they would only make them one-sided. I need to think about that for a while. I don't have enough whiskey in me or something to figure that out. That's a Tonyism. That's a Yogiism. 200 IQ. Yeah, that's some 4D chess stuff right there. So, yeah. So, there you go. I'll only use the back if I'm continuing a thought that's not enough to warrant a second page. So, let's see. I'm actually a little bit surprised at how many back of the page users are. So let me see if I can do a little poll and see how close to like 50-50. Let's see. How can I say this? Fetty Guacalino. I like that name. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Let's see. How many sides of the page do you use? So we're going to have option. We're going to say 1. And or 2. Or should I say 1 or both? How about both? One side, both sides. All right. So we're going to do, I want to do a little poll. Here we go. All right. There we go. How many sides of the page do you use? So you type, like, bang, vote. Oh. So you got to do the bang vote and then the number. So do bang vote and then the number. You use one side of the page or both sides of the page. You got to put a space in there, Sarah. Bang vote space number. But y'all make a good point about cost, which I don't really think about the cost of the product, right? If I've paid, $20 for this notebook, am I getting my full $20? Yes, one is both sides. That's just how the voting thing goes. Yeah, the poll options is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. 1 meaning 2 might validate the result. Yeah, it's how the poll thing's set up. So the cost is a factor. So what's the most important reason why people who use both sides of the page choose to use both sides of the page? Is it because you just write that much and you feel like, I'm going to fill up this space anyway? Do you think of it as a value thing? It's like I'm wasting half of the notebook if I don't use it, and I just want everything in there. Conversely, the one-sided writers, why do you choose it? I do it just visually. I don't like it. I don't like writing back to back and having to see through it. Like, you can see the ghosting on this page over here, right? I don't want that distraction, because it's there. Don't want to waste the notebook. Poll closed. How does it not publish the results automatically? So it was 28 votes for both sides, 7 votes for one side. I'm surprised. I thought it would be not 50-50. The way y'all were talking, like the two-sided writers were going to win. I'm surprised it's 4-1. So, interesting. So yeah, it was 28-7. I'll write that in there. 7 for using. By the way, got my 849. Love it. It's a new daily carry. Glad you like it, Brooks. Appreciate you. So yeah, interesting. All right, let me go through some of these answers. I don't want to waste half a notebook. I've been doing this a long time. I've used lots of notebooks. I've never once in my head said, if I don't use both sides, I feel like I'm wasting half the notebook. That is a completely new concept to me for all the notebooks and pens and paper that I've used. That is something that has never crossed my mind. Which I find interesting that it hasn't crossed my mind, because it seems to be a pretty common idea, right? So Tony just did a quick count, 7 years of journal, 1,926 pages, all both sides. How do I ask this question? So a page counts as 2 sides. Do you know what I'm asking? So if we take 196 pages that are filled, two-sided pages filled. Right, that's the sheets versus pages argument. 1926 sides. Okay. 1926 sides. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to... No, so he wrote 1926 sides. Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. That's why sheets and pages I will always have to think about. No matter how many times I read sheets and pages, I will always have to think about it. Hobby 100 says it's basically it's a continuation of writing. You feel that the continuation front back is the proper continuation. Yeah, I think of a page as one side. Agreed. Yeah, a page is one side, right? Just like page numbers, exactly like you said. So a page is one side. So if you say, I wrote 1926 pages, that's singular, single-sided. Yeah. Jericho, for my journal, both sides, economy, fitting more in the book, keeping more thoughts together. For work, I often leave the backside blank so I have more room to go back and add the notes. I wonder if that's why I do it the way I do it, because I didn't start with journaling when I was a kid, right? I started with schoolwork, college work, and then work, right? And I would always have that extra sheet because you might need room. You may never use it, but you might need it. And I didn't start with journaling where I would just go front to back, on and on and on. I don't know. It's just, I'm a little bit, I'm thinking to myself a lot here that I just really never thought of the cost option, that I'm really not using. I'm basically using 50% of a notebook by choice. So am I extracting the most value? It doesn't matter, right? But I'm just surprised I never really thought of it that way. Like I totally get it. And whoever made the comment about the Masubi is like, yeah, like my next notebook, like another reason I'm trying to get through with this one is because my next notebook is a Masubi. Now I'm wondering, will I use the backside to extract the most value out of the most expensive notebook I own, right? Inkwell Monster, I've never calculated pages by a single side, but I try to mention both sheets and pages in reviews. Yeah. But do you also, like one of the articles you wrote, you calculate the words too on your writing. So like, I imagine you have a lot of, do you write on both? If you're writing a novel, Sarah, do you write on both sides, or do you leave room for space for like for edits? Always, I thought I've seen your novel writing notebooks and they're always both sides filled. Economy never comes into it for me. It's just the pages there. It should be used. I get that. I'm like you, Steph. If I want to go through a notebook quicker, then I only use one side. And it's not that I want to go through the notebook quicker. Not that I don't want to enjoy what I'm using or the pens that I'm using. It's that, like, I filled this one up, and now I'm going to go to the second one. Velvet Hammer, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. So, y'all have given me thoughts. I might have to bring this up on the podcast, too. Okay, that's interesting, Jericho. Back in the day when I would accidentally buy cheap comp notebooks for work that would ghost with gel pens, I would always use the spread, then skip the next spread because of the ghosting. I almost buy that more than the using front back. I could see me doing what you did. I've never done that before. I get the idea. That's funny. I could see myself doing that. I have never done that, but I was like, yeah, I'd do that. That sounds like something I'd do. Make a Twitter poll for the podcast. All right. Foolish Fox, if I did anything, it would be that. And I've done that with pocket notebooks before. I wouldn't do that with an A5 notebook. That would drive me crazy with this size. But with a pocket notebook, I've filled it all one way, flipped it over, and done like a few pages on the back. Like if I wanted to continue what was in that notebook. I've never gone through the whole thing. But I do agree with that idea for a pocket notebook. I would never do that. If I was going to do both sides in an A5, I'm just going to do straight through. Does anyone do that? Does anyone do the flip? I'm definitely pro flipping like the pocket notebooks, because you legit run out of space on those, right? Using both sides and like a field notes or write notepads, I would see that more useful than filling up the big size. I do not do the flip. That's craziness. I've done the flip. I should do an ASMR of some of these Japanese gold nibs writing on pages, because they have this scritchy scratch that's just really enjoyable. You don't flip, that's an idea to explore. Yeah. Like if you're already a two-sided writer, you'll never have any need to flip. Sorry, I'm making notes here. That's why I like doing this, because we talk about things that you never thought we would even talk about. If it's a blank slate notebook, one side. If it's pre-filled like a theme system, I use both sides. Like a theme system, I use both sides. That's what I'm saying with my planner. It's always both sides. Oh, Sarah. I know what that is. I know what that is. My daughter loves to write teeny tiny. She loves the Jetstream .28. It's spectacular. We're gonna show this picture Sarah's discovering. I've shared this before. What if it was a planner but not filled out? I'd use both sides. Is that what you mean? Like if I was rolling my own planner? Same notebook, different classes, flip, that would break my brain. Yeah, Foolish Fox, if I was rolling my own planner, I would 100% both sides of the page. Without, like, no questions asked. Because that's my preferred planner layout as it is, right? All right, I'm going to show you all this pen for those who can't click the link. My planner doesn't really have a layout. I just write out stuff for each day. Now, I'm thinking here, if I rolled my own bullet journal, I don't know if I would probably have to go front and back. I think that would bother me as opposed to just straight writing. So this is a pen I've mentioned before. Y'all know my love for Y Studio, and they did a dragon foil roller ball or ballpoint. They did a dragon fall. AWOL Trooper, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. They did a dragon foil. Let's see if they have the roller ball. Oh, is this the roller ball? No, this is the fountain pen. Okay, this is the roller ball. Okay. Yeah, so they did a different one, though, first. Sorry, I'm going to see if I have it up now, because this is where I saw a few years ago they did a ballpoint. Brands. So, Kahosi is in Amsterdam. I've worked with them before. They are really, really nice. A guy named Tico runs it. Really, really cool. Okay, here it is. This is the first one I saw. So this is the first dragon foil, or dragon cloud, whatever they call it. this is pretty crazy. Then the way they do it is pretty rad, and not even I could like break down. And being like a Y Studio fanboy that I am, I mean, look, like this is like one of my all-time favorite pens, right? But this was like $120-$40, and this the ballpoint is how much? 270 euros. But yeah, like this is it's like this leaf that goes on there. And yeah, like I can't bring myself to the price. I wouldn't use it enough to justify the price. Whereas I paid, $600 and something for this, and I use it all the time, right? But I'm worried about paying half of that for this, just because I don't think I would use it. I think it would just sit. So let me go back to the other one. I'm actually more interested in this barrel shape with the dragon foil. So yeah, you can see the finishes here, but this one's 328 euros. So, and I don't like the roller ball. No, it's the ballpoint shape. The lacquered ballpoint was my least favorite. The roller ball is really good. The pencil I don't like. The fountain pen is good. So yeah, it just depends. So the roller ball, I would get this one before the one on the previous page, the ballpoint. But I'm not going to get any of them because they're crazy expensive. But look at that. Like that's my aesthetic, right? That's my jam. Should I buy my kindergartners nice pencils from your top 5? I wouldn't. I would buy them yellow Ticonderogas. Get them something better than the cheapest, the lowest common denominators. Like I buy my kids the Ticonderogas, and they're in 7th and 9th grade. What's up, bud? Hi. Do you want to be on stream? Oh, Tyler needs to say hi. And then we'll watch this video. But yeah, this is my jam. All right, let's play a game with Tyler real quick. Let's ask Tyler a question.
He only has till 10:49.
All right, Tyler has till 10:49. Okay, he's got a couple minutes. All right, Tyler. All right, you see this pen? Mm-hmm. All right, you see that pen? It's fancy, right? Here, get on the camera so people can see you. Wow, it got dark in here all of a sudden, didn't it? How much is this pen? So it's a roller ball.
It's Japanese.
It's Japanese. Well, it's Taiwanese. But yeah. So it's a roller ball. It's not like a fountain pen.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you think?
$200.
$200. That's a pretty good guess. It's probably like $350.
I was gonna say 300.
Yeah. All right. So Tyler's here because I think he wants to brag about your match last night.
Oh yeah.
So Tyler just started playing soccer. He had his first game last night. What position do you play?
Goalie.
And what did you do last night?
I blocked a PK, a penalty kick.
He stoned a PK last night, and the place went wild. It was pretty nuts. He was pretty happy about it. Show him how you celebrated after you got him. he dropped he dropped some let's goes on this kid that he stoned. It was pretty cool. So
it was like a big kid too.
Yeah, it was their best player, obviously, right? You get the big kid, and he rejected him, so he was pretty happy. So that's why Tyler's here. Tyler's here to brag on y'all. So I'm bragging on him. It was pretty great. I jumped out of my seat. It was hilarious. We all freaked out. So yeah, that was good, huh? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. So how's school going? We've been talking about school this morning. Terrible. At least he's telling the truth, right? So.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Is it getting better?
I just have to
rewrite everything. How's teacher mom doing today? Oof. That was an oof right there. But teacher mom's making it better though, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the long run, teacher mom's doing the right thing, right? Yeah. Even though I know we got to do more stuff than we've been doing, but it's got to do it right. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Your time is up.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Tyler's school is completely shut down, Tessa. The entire middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Crack those blinds for me a little bit. It got, just like peek them a little bit. Don't really open them. It got really dark in here. Yeah, just do a little bit. Yeah, like that. Do all 4 like that. It got mega dark in here. I don't like it. Shout out Teacher Mom doing the hardest job. That is no joke. Teacher Mom's getting all the praise today. So yeah. All right. So there's the pen, the Dragonfoil by Tyler. Tyler's gone. That's the Dragonfoil Y Studio. I probably won't buy it. If they did it in the fountain pen, don't buy that pen.
Too much for a ballpoint.
No, I agree. So I'm saying, what if they did it in this pen? This is the one I use.
You're reasonable.
Okay, he says that's more reasonable, right? So yeah, how is Elizabeth going? I don't know. She had 2 weeks at home, so it is what it is. I like the elementary school's been open the whole time. The elementary school has had no problems. The middle school is completely shut down, and Elizabeth was quarantined for 2 weeks, so it's just a hot mess. It is €328 for the rollerball Dragonfoil and $280 for the ballpoint Dragonfoil. So the ballpoint's been out for a few years. The rollerball is newish, and yeah, they're too much for. I would almost consider it on this pen, right? Because I use this pen so much. Would I pay $300 for the Dragonfoil this one? I would at least think about it, where the other ones I don't consider. Because I literally I use this pen all the time. Who knows? So, it's cool. What refills fit it? What refills in that? I want to say it's like the long Schmidt one. What's that one called? Ceramic roller. Schmevelin, 20 months of subbing. Good morning. So yeah, Schmidt ceramic roller. So probably like a G2 might fit, like a Pilot G2, not an International G2. I wonder if like a Pilot G2 juice Intergel type refill would fit that one, because that's the longer refill of the bunch. So I'm never gonna say never. All hail the Pilot G2. Look at AWOL Trooper coming in here with the hot takes. All hail the Pilot G2. AWOL Trooper, do you have a favorite tip size of the G2? Like, do you like the 0.5, 0.7? Do you go down to the micro? 0.38? Do you use the bold 1.0? I don't dislike the G2. I just think there's better choices out there for you, AWOL Trooper. The G2 is a good find. It's an enjoyable pen. Service industry for 15 years, it's always served me right. 0.7 is the go-to. 0.5 is my fave. Good call. So, service industry. My assumptions when I hear service industry, that you're having to write quickly. You're having to have quick deploy. You like the retractable. You're writing on all kinds of paper in all types of situations. I'm surprised you use a gel and not like a jet stream. More of a ballpoint type, an oil-based refill that's going to handle all types of different situations more so than the gel. So yeah. Pilot G2 is good enough for many people, but not the best. It's the Coldplay of gel pens. Yeah, agree. That's fair. What's the band Mike likes? Arctic Monkeys. That's what I'll call them tomorrow on the podcast. I don't know his current favorite band, but I know for a while it was the Arctic Monkeys, so I'll call it the Arctic Monkeys of of pens. It's like just generic and basic, and see if I can get a rise out of him. So there you go. Yeah, I'm not sure who he's listening to now. I was gonna say Oasis of pens. Yeah, that might be a little painful. That cuts deep. That could hurt. Anything nicer than a G2 on your apron and they get taken pretty quickly? Totally agree with that. I would just think something besides a gel would be my choice. Like I'm totally going ballpoint. Yeah, Arctic Monkeys over Coldplay. That's why I want to get Mike. That's why I want to make it sound worse than it is. Teach Me Senpai, Uniball Jetstream, or Pilot Acroball. They're gonna write just as well as the G2. They're gonna write a finer line, but they're gonna work every time you pull them out. And they're ballpark the same price, so they're not gonna get stolen. I mean, any of them are gonna get stolen, but the Jetstream is always gonna work, where the G2 is not always gonna work. I just think of like the situations where you're having to write on, not clean surfaces, damp, wet, any of that stuff. For a basic pen, it's going to be the Uniball Jetstream or Pilot Acroball for any type of service industry job. Not my favorite clip. Which one? Not your favorite clip? K9 play. I hate the G2 clip. But it works, right? That's a durable pen. Like that's what we're going to focus on tomorrow. Is the G2 is a big durable pen. The one on your top 5, I don't even know what you're talking about. Did I miss something? Tell me specifically. I'm not tracking. The G2 is the first. Oh, I'm gonna go back and show what. The G2 is the first unique looking good pen that does a lot to get people in caring about pens. That's my first jaunt into better pens. 100% agree, Jason. Like that's why we gotta have to have this conversation, right? There's nothing wrong with the G2. The G2 is an awesome pen. There are better pens than the G2. So that's my focus. Can someone remind me how to gift a sub from the Amazon Prime on here? Thunder Viking is good at that. He might know. I always hated being given a gel pen to write on receipt paper. It made me irrationally upset because it's a coin flip at that time. Oh, yeah. Did y'all want to watch the cozy video on here or no? Did y'all want me to pull up the Dragon Foil cozy video and we watch it together? I was going to do that before Tyler distracted me. Let's watch it. I haven't watched it in a while. And see what the process is like. I've watched it before. All right, let's see what we can do here. I won't talk over the subtitles. Let's just watch. So I could watch that all day, right? It actually makes me want to just go jam the buy button. That technique is pretty rad. So when he does the silk phase, that takes 2 days just for the silk phase to set up, right? And then to manage the foil to get that sulfur transition onto the foil. And then applying that to the pen. And then he just glosses over the end the 3 layers of lacquer. That's another week at least, right, of work, of time, not work. He's not sitting there for a week doing it. But 3 layers of lacquer, that's at least a week. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's why these things are $300 and something, right? It's pretty awesome. Sorry, I'm just getting this off my screen here. It's pretty cool, right? That's pretty rad. I could watch that all day. Oh, so Jesse, just catching up. Yeah, link your Twitch, link your Amazon Prime, and then you just sub to a channel, and it'll say, do you want to use your Twitch Prime? And then, yeah, then you got it. Foolish Fox, that's a good way to put it. It's like you feel like it's at least, the price is at least worth the effort that's put into it, right? When you look at something like that, it's like starts to make sense. Like it's still ridiculously expensive, but you go, oh, an artist like made this pen. Like Y Studio made the barrel. Then there's this whole different level of craftsmanship that goes into like the dragon foil. It's pretty cool. Rich Sticks, thanks for the subs. Appreciate ya. So yeah, that video, right, it's important they make a video to help educate, right. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. I love watching that. Like, you could just put that in the background of my house. Like, I'd be, and you know, if that was in my room and I was working and it was just on what was that, like a 3.5 minute loop every day for like 6 or 8 hours, I guarantee I'd stop like 10 times a day and just watch it. I would just stop cold, even though I've just watched it 30 minutes ago. I would just sit there and watch it again. Like, it's pretty cool. Multi-stage application and setup, not to mention the craftsmanship and artistry, well worth the money. Yeah. He's probably not charging enough when you break down the price of all of that. If I overthink that, he's probably not charging enough, right? But there's X amount that you can sell that for. You can't all of a sudden say that's a $600 pen at the same time, right? Like you got a big ask in there as it is. So yeah, but at the same token, he's probably not charging enough. Yeah. If it was on a fountain pen, I'd be in trouble. Yeah, I would probably. This is a hard pen to replace for me. Like, there's a lot of special pens I own. I don't know what it is about this one. So yeah. Yeah, the Arushi, the hours don't add into the money earned, right? Agree, Foolish Fox. That's why these artisans are hard to come by anymore. So it's good that they're doing this and putting the spotlight on a creator like that, right? It's pretty cool. Rewizzles, thank you for reminding me. Just entered the Show in Pocket 6 giveaway. If y'all are new to the channel or haven't checked the Pen Addict blog this morning, I'm a well-known average photographer. One of the hardest things for me to photograph is the Shown Design Pocket 6. Because it's such a little bitty pen, getting the scale of this right is very hard. But this just popped this morning. Ian sent me over a few pens, which you saw me share last week. So that's why I had to do some extra photos on here just to show what it's like. This is a really cool pen. If you're not familiar with the Shown Pocket 6, it's a pocket rocket of a fountain pen. It's awesome. AWOL Trooper, what do you use your main fountain pen for? Number one, fountain pen is not a singular term. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 on my desk right here. I have 400 probably in there. Not really, probably like 150. And like writing, like I write a lot of notes, you know, just things like this is the current notebook I'm using, drawing, just messing around, writing all the things, writing notes. Look at that. That was a very artistic page right there. Oh, there's a back side of the page right there. So yeah. But yeah, this is it. AWOL Trooper, you should go enter this giveaway on my site. It's like super free. And you get, yeah, because I made a mess on that page, Foolish Fox. But that's a page I'll go back and write on later. Like, I'll look for like a scribble page and I'll go and use that page later. So go enter this giveaway. Ian sent me 3 pens. This is the first one. I'm giving this one away. I'm going to review the faceted brass. And then I have a copper. I'll probably give away the copper too. Super free is more than normal free. Yeah, super duper free. Yeah, super free. Excellent. So yeah, that's up this morning. So I'll probably have another Shown Pen 2 design. Yeah, this is not for gigantic hands. This one's more for gigantic hands, but you don't want this pen. Not as your first pen. But there are fountain pens you can get for like $25-$30 that would work for your super big hands. K9 Play, thank you for gifting us sub. Hey, Trooper, thank you. Y'all are so kind. This is the best community. Y'all are awesome. So yeah, the Pocket 6 is good for your big hands. I don't have big hands, so I don't mind the smaller pens. I'm having an issue with this guy. I don't like this as much. Speaking of you and photography, can you text me a couple of pics of that nib I sent you? I didn't take any and want to add it to my display page. Yes, once I attach it to my orange Urushi Brooks pen, even though that's already got a thing on there, I want to take the pictures with that. This is the slickest aluminum grip I've used in a while. Like, I normally don't mind smooth metal grips. I am super slidey on this guy. So that's Brooks. I keep the nib is sitting on my desk because I'm waiting to pop it into that pen. This is a Sailor pocket pen, like an old Sailor pocket pen, like from the 60s or 70s, whatever. So it's like a Pilot Elite, but it's a Sailor, right? So little pocket guy. It's just like the Pilot Elite, you know, post the barrel on the back, full length, sort of a hooded nib situation going on. Not an inlaid nib, but a hooded nib. Awesome nib, awesome writer. It's a little, I almost have to grip it back on the ridge here on this one. Seems wider than the Elite. No, doesn't really seem so. Maybe it's just, it might be an illusion around this part. I think I've got a bunch of Elites. They might be a little bit longer, skinnier in the barrel, but like in the writing feel, it feels almost identical. So yeah, I don't have my Elite in here anymore. I had some the other day when I was showing them off, but no. Time to take out the knurler. Yeah. But almost all smooth grips I get along well with. This one's just got a taper where it's not hitting me right. It's weird. This cap likes to stick on here too. I don't know why. All right, anyway. So yeah. There you go. Oh, Brooks, when I send you that pic, I have a question for you. That I've been meaning to ask you for like 2 weeks now, and I keep forgetting, so that'll remind me to ask you a question. So if I don't ask you a question, remind me, and I'll ask you a question. So like this is the metal grip right here, this brass grip. I have no issue with this. This brass is way more tactile than that aluminum one. I don't know why, like my hands stick to this one better, because I have, you know, not sweaty hands, but you know, like when you write, you can get a little bit of moisture in there, and it does not work on that Sailor, but on this it works perfectly fine. Like you can see how I'm just wearing out this barrel. It looks awesome. Like you can see there's my thumbprint. I mean my middle fingerprint on the back of the pen where my grip hits it. Isn't that cool looking? How you just wear these pens out when you use them a lot. That's like one of my favorite things. Looking for a somewhat heavy fountain pen to learn on, I would look at like the TWSBI Eco. It's not that heavy, but it's big. Well, whoa. What just happened? What the actual heck just happened? We have a well-appointed desk sighting. She can't even spell STFU correctly. What is the problem here? What has just happened? Welcome, Anna. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Anna. That was amazing. That was amazing. All right, so let's ask Anna the question of the day. She might just be doing a drive-by, but we're gonna make her stay here for 1 second. Anna, when you're writing in a journal, do you just write on one side of the page, or do you use both sides of the page when you're writing, front and back? So we need to know where Anna stands on this. And then we'll hit her up for the color desk. Yeah, we need the color desk. Depends on the paper. You know, if you're doing like personal stuff and like the Tomoe River would bother you, maybe like to use both sides. But I'm just habitually never use the back side of the page. But that seems, we took a poll earlier and it was like 4-1 use both sides of the page. Color desk is going to be a desk sized, here, I'll show you. So we need to fill desk cam. Don't listen to Brad. They know that by now. Like, that's obvious. So we need like this size of notebook. So this is the Blackwing. I don't know, one of the Blackwings. So I'm going to have desk cam like have that big of a paper on it. Like, see how big this is? This is bigger than A5. So this is A5 on there. So I want to get like a desk pad of color desk coloring paper. So yeah, there you go. So that's what we're working on. I don't know where my camera is. Terrible. A4 is double A4. Yeah. I know that, but this is a no sizer, right? This is the Blackwing, whatever this book's called. This is an undefined size, right? This is, if you want to start a fight, this is how we start a fight. I know you're on my side on this one though. But this is not A4 because this is A5, right? So what size is this? I don't want that. I'll just take A4. I'll take whatever size you're going to make. A4 would be perfectly acceptable. Is that B5? I think that's too big. So, I don't even know if Blackwing makes this size anymore. It's a Blackwing. Pretty close to B5. So, yeah. Anyway. I just want like a desk. A4 would be completely fine, especially that prevents you from having waste, right? If you're getting, don't your sheets come in the stuff. Did I draw the pattern on the book? Yeah, I just drew that with a Sharpie one day. Yeah, whatever you might make would be based on the full sheet. Absolutely, because it's waste. A3 would be fine. Yeah, the Blackwing's a made-up size. Who knows? Well, I'm sure it gets delivered in A0. At least A1, I bet. So, yeah. That's why you do paper standards, again, because there's lack of waste. When we go to print, when we were in Atlanta, our printers weren't set up to print international standard sizes. We had to have waste to like get things cut to A5. Like we couldn't order the right size paper to cut it down in a healthy fashion. It was always a nightmare. And it was like we just had to, yeah. See, Anna just said the same thing. Our paper is not in Euro standard sizes. Like the printers in the US, when they're getting a pallet, we end up having waste because we want these standards. And they're getting paper that's not delivered that way. So we're paying more because they're having to use more sheets because there's waste. It's a whole thing. So like we would fight for A5 dimensions and they're like, okay, but it's going to cost more. And I was like, that's fine. This is the expectation. So, whatever. Y'all got me started now. Way to go. Sue's from St. Jude. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Big St. Jude fans here. We did $11,030 on our raffle. Did y'all see that, Brooks? Whew. I sent the pin off Sunday. Just give me that 8.5 by 11. Like, I get 8.5 by 11, but, you know. Yeah, the raffle response was amazing. Y'all were amazing. Thank y'all for doing that. Relays up to 370K. I love it. I love that so much. Couple more days to go. B6, fight me. Like, give me any international size except whatever this F0 or whatever Midori's doing with the squares. Like, they can keep that. They can save that. They don't need that. Whatever the size is, I just want it squared up. So I've actually ordered a couple of planners I'm going to give away, but I went with like the B6s and B5s just to kind of get a good feel for the size before I give them away. So we'll do that. We'll do that here in the next month or so. We'll get some planners out there. So my other poll apparently should be, what's your favorite paper size? And I should do a poll that says, what's your favorite paper size? I should do, the answers should be, the choices should be Moleskine, A5-ish, Field Notes, and then like, I don't know, A4. Or no, Ledger. None of which are paper sizes. Just makes me mad. Yeah. Oh, Smart Dimensions. That's the one. Smart Dimensions. So, what's your favorite paper size? A5-ish, Moleskine, Smart Dimensions, Field Notes. That would be pretty funny. Have y'all tried the illegal pads yet from Blackwing? That's a good name. For as weird as some of the new Blackwing branding logos are, I think the illegal pad is a great name. So what size is the new illegal pad? That's going to be a problem size too. It's got to be, right? Whatever the Rhodius 16s are is my jam. That's A5. I'm pretty sure that's the 16. Because I think that's the one I use. So yeah. 16 is A4. Sorry. What's the A5s? I haven't bought any A4s in a while. The Rhodioramas are A5s. Yeah, those are great. So what size is the illegal pad? Let's see. 8.5 by 11. Okay. Fair enough. 16 is A5. See, now we're fighting. Y'all gonna make me look it up. Now all the pens I look around on my desk just look so inferior. AWOL Trooper, you believe in the G2, and that puts you so far ahead of the game, you don't even know. So you're doing good with your G2s is what I'm saying. So yeah, 16 is A5. I was right. Anna was wrong. Cool. Welcome to my world. What are Hagaki, Chuke, and UK paper sizes listed in my print driver? I have no idea. So these are 8.5 by 11. I wonder why you do that with a legal pad. I'm trying to think of the reasoning for making 8.5 by 11. You either make it A4 or you make it legal, right? Legal is a U.S. measurement, right? The traditional legal. Like, what would you use 8.5 by 11 for besides printing? Like, it's a good size. But I'm wondering what. I'm just wondering why. Like, it's a good size. Like, it's big enough. Shaped like a legal pad, but shorter. It's illegal. Fits as filler in notebook ledgers. Notes front with printouts. Okay. Woo. I need to bring my paper size book in here that Anna sent me. People who don't want to deal with legal size manila folders. Yeah, this is a better, like, I agree that this is a better size than legal pad size and legal folder size. I'm just curious. Yeah, so it just fits with your other paperwork that you're going to use on a daily basis. Cool, I'll buy that. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally get that. So yeah, I got one of these coming. Joe reviewed it, Gentleman Stationery, and I think he liked it pretty well. He's the legal pad guru. I think he liked this one. It's a thing to sell fancy file organizers that have a 8.5 by 11 notepad. Really? Okay. Yeah, but take letter over legal. I'm in total agreement with y'all. Is it 8 by 11 torn out, including the top bit? That's a good question. It says the pages are 8.5 by 11. So I think the paper size is full 8.5 by 11. Not counting the binding. Yeah, extra inch on top ish. So yeah, some of the Japanese brands will do a notebook size and a paper size, right? They'll do a notebook and call it A5, and it'll have some kind of sheet perf or binding that shortens the page size under A5. Or you can buy a page size of A5 and have a wider book. So you'll see that in some of the Japanese brands sometimes. They are guilty of that. Now the question will be ruled .grid or blank .grid. Always. Yeah, we need to get a .grid legal pads. That's why I like the Rhodias, like Jonathan was saying, because you can get grids and .grids in A4s and A5s. Found a ream of old school TR paper Shabod. It's 8.5 by 12. Interesting. .grid is the best ruling. Yeah, I think .grid wins pretty much any polls I put up. Probably blank number 2. Graph and lined would have to fight it out for third place. I'm not sure which one wins between graph and lined. Might be lined. But it's always .grid 1, blank 2, everything else. It's kind of how it goes. Whenever we do polls or checking that kind of stuff out. Never lined. Yeah. What's your favorite paper format? .grid, blank, or never lined? That's a Twitter poll. Blank, lined, grid, dot. Turn a blank notebook into a lined notebook. You might as well just like kill me now. Like, I would never promote that post, Anna. Why would you ever want to torture yourself with that? Oh, it's for the guide sheets. I got you. Guide sheets are cool. I use guide sheets on blank for sure. The Clairefontaine Triumph pad, I use a guide sheet on that all the time. Especially when I'm doing reviews, I'll do that. Team Dot, I like it. Yeah, I do like guide sheets. Reticles, I can't do reticles. They're too busy for me. I had a lined and blank notebook once as a meditative exercise. Wouldn't recommend it. There's even dot guide sheets now. I think that would be a problem for me. I think I would have a tough time managing that. I'll just use blank if I needed a dot guide sheet, right? Reticles are like a plus sign, essentially. So it's like a dot grid, but instead of a circular dot, it's a plus sign. Yeah, like a corner. And it just gets really complex on the page, seeing a lot of reticles for me. Whereas even like a full grid, that doesn't bother me. The best guide sheets are well-appointed desks. Duh. I think Anna has a package coming my way. I'm pretty sure I saw a shipment the other day. Maybe that'll come today. I haven't looked. Or, based on the post office, 2 months from now. One of the two. Sorry, K9 Play. I'm getting lots of emails on my Retro 51 shipments. I was solely graph until dot grid became generally available. And now I mostly prefer dot grid, but I still like graph pretty frequently. Spoke Brian digs the reticles. That does not surprise me, knowing Spoke Brian like I do. He seems like a reticle guy, if I've ever met one. How many extra retros you have? It depends on the post office right now. Says your package will arrive Friday. Yeah, that's pretty long from me to you. Jericho, your journal is line. Fight me. I'm pro line journals. Just not for me. I like Doan's grid with every fourth line boulder. Yeah, they're every 3. I think it's 3 blocks, but I like that. They're the right size. I can actually fit 2 lines in between their lines. I have not tried the Caran Dash 888. Dot rubber stamp. Spoke Brian's up to no good, y'all. He has things on order. Oh, maybe I did try the 888. Does the 888 have like the huge clip? Like the big wide clip? I think I have tried that one. If that's the one I'm thinking of. They come in fun colors. Like I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, I have a lime green one. Yeah, plastic body, big tip, fun cut. Okay, then I have tried that. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're a little big, I think, for me. But they're not bigger than normal pins. It's just that their 849s are smaller. It is heavier than it looks. Yep. Retro 51 arrived. Yeah, it's a crapshoot right now with the Postal Service. Like, good friend of the chat, RoboJim. He was one whose Retro 51 was stuck, essentially, in drop-off. And then he messaged me right before the stream today that it arrived. Like, things are just not moving for 2 weeks and then showing up without any updated scans, and then you go check the scans later and they're all there. So I hate having to tell people to just let's wait it out. I know you want your stuff, but I'm having to tell people let's wait because they're all showing up. Like everything is, I have not had one get lost yet, but they are not tracking well, but they're all showing up. So cross fingers. What did I miss? All of it. My company has one good type of notebook and lots of bad ones. Well, you'd be lucky that they do have the one. Yeah. Back on clip talk. Can we talk? Caran Dash looks great. Is the clip sturdy? Sturdy enough. Yeah. Yeah. Mark is one that sent me a wee mail. The hell is that? An email. Yeah. Like they're showing up, but I hate telling people like, just wait. It sucks. Retro 51 hasn't moved from last week. I have some from the first week of September that have not scanned. It's an email sent from your Wii. Yeah. So, like, I mean, if you overcook it, you can bend it for sure. But it's pretty durable on just standard use. But K9, you're, like, in and out of your pocket all the time, aren't you? Or just beating around on the desk. You type by waving the Wiimote. That would be cool. Oh, no, Tessa, I have not seen that, and I would be upset too. It might slide a little. It really doesn't move. Like, I mean, you could bend the clip if you're yanking it out of like a pants pocket, like a jeans pocket. Like, I could see myself like bending it, but it would take some extra to do that. Yeah, Tessa, I'd be sending another email or something. I like the look of the Caran Dash, but I'm also stuck in fountain pen mode. This is not a net for everybody pen. Like, it's pretty small and thin, right? Not everyone likes the thin style of that, or a ballpoint even. You pocket carry the 849 in the front pocket of your jeans and only bend it once when it caught on the seatbelt. Yeah. It means in the near future when they're done doing other projects, Tessa. You're worried it's too thin? Evan, it might be too thin for you. Still haven't gotten your Kickstarter notebook? Yeah, I got mine. I think that was purposeful. We'll go. Is that the? Yeah, we'll go with purposeful. So, all right, gang, we're gonna wrap this up. This has been awesome. 849 is skinny. I have a few, but wouldn't want to write a novel with it. Yeah, I don't think I've written like page after page. Like, it's a jot notes pen for me. It's about the size of a wood case pencil. Yeah. And it's got the same feel with the hex barrel, which I like. Excuse me. Make sure the loudest voice speaks well about their experience. Yeah. Whoops. Whoops. There's a blog. Could be. All right. We're going to wrap it up in here, chat. I don't know if by Thursday I'll have fresh loot to show. I got a lot of stuff coming in. I have a Jet Pens box coming. I theoretically have a Van Ness box coming. They may not get here till next week. We'll do some unboxings, get some fresh loot. I don't know what we'll do Thursday. We might have to do more envelopes Thursday. I finally mailed out the first batch. I still got a bunch more to go. Tester, you're gonna make a rant video. Sweet. Oh, last thing. Oh, text. I need to text you a thing. I need to text Brooks. Watch this. I'm gonna write this down and not do it. Y'all watch me write down text Brooks on my list. One more thing I want to ask y'all real quick. I want to give y'all some homework because some of you are well sourced to do this homework. That's right. Rewizzle signed up. Chip you. Here's your homework. Let's say someone was interested in selling a Retro 51 Lunker. What should it sell for? I am teacher dad, Jerica. You have homework. Have any Retro 51 Lunkers sold publicly that we know how much they sold for? This is all hypothetical. Just an idea. But I know some of you track this stuff, and I don't track this stuff. Unsub for homework, Jacqueline. You need to finish that dissertation. Let's get on. Let's go. Finish it up. You missed out. Yeah, today missed out most of it, Mafia, but like I'm thinking about ending it, but now we just keep talking. All right, see you, Coco. My guess is like between $300 and $500. I don't know. The current topic is what would a Retro 51 Lunker sell for? Defending on December 1st. All right, get to work. You got Yeah, what are you doing? This is like my son is homeschooling today, or virtual learning. I was like, what are you doing in here? There's work to be done. Depends on how pretty and or tasty the fish is in question. Nice. All right, see, I almost didn't write down my note. Text. Brooks. And nib picture. I'm sending Jonathan a picture of my nib, y'all. At his request. All right. I'll do that for you. I like you. I'll send it to you. Retro 51 $50 Lunker. Priceless. You talk about the Yovo nib issues. Do you mean what Mark Backus has seen with his feeds? I don't know any issues other than that, other than he got a bad batch of feeds. That was egregiously bad that he had to think that was a change in production that they came out that way. There's a pink robot on eBay right now for $220. Interesting. Oh, and the crack housings is that how they're arriving cracked? Actually, if that $220 was buy it out, it would be sold by now. So I bet it goes for more than that. I haven't seen one of those sell in a while. Yeah, $220 is cheap. Had bad batches of feeds and housings happens a few years back. I had a bunch of them crack on me. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen the housing cracking. I saw the feed thing, but it's some of the housings are coming in already like pre-cracked. Yuck. Really? So I haven't seen that as much. I know I've had one break. It might have been self-inflicted, or maybe it was like already there and I made it worse kind of thing. So yeah, I'll pay attention more now. They're splitting and not at the seams. Interesting. Mafia Geek wonder if the production rate has gone up, so they're having trouble keeping up the QC. Always theoretically possible. Yeah, I mean, it's just like that's a production cycle, right? All right, what am I looking at? Canine Play. Buy it now for $220 is pretty low for this pen, I would say. Oh God. Retro 51 bump in the night. Rickshaw pen sleeve sold out. People are just gouging. I hate to see it. Oh, there's an orange Retro 51, one of the original Pen Addict ones, for $245. Buy it now. That's way cheaper. Is this the same person? Yeah, I don't ever look at this market, so I don't know. It bugs me a little bit. Like, I get it, but I just don't want people to buy it for resale. Like the Retro 51 bump in the night, it's like you're buying that to resell it. It's like brand new. Use it. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. So, did you get one of the pink robot rickshaw koozies? No, I will not be getting a rickshaw robot pink robot koozie. Pass. There's a non-lunker for $333. Wow. Yeah, I don't want to go look on that. I'll just get angry. All right, I really got to go this time. Y'all are awesome. Take care. See ya.